Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jashimad Bhagavad Gita, Ki Jai. The word towards Jashira Gurudev Ki Jai, word towards synonyms, translations, and purpose by Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Shri Ghanswar Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaurachandra Premanande, Hari Hari Bo, Hare Krishna. So welcome dear devotees. Thank you very much Sanjeev Prabhu for giving us intimation of the programs and what verse we are on. So who would like to start your realization, please? Others can join in afterwards. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhu, Hare Krishna Pragya Devi Dasi Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Smarpan Krishna Prabhu for organizing these programs and giving us chance to share our realization. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Shila Gurudev Ki Jai, Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So we are on Bhagavad Gita chapter 12, verse 9. I recite the verse. अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो माम् इच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय. What was known? Translation and purport by Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Atha, if therefore, chittam, mind, samadhatam, fixing, na, not, shaknoshi, able, mai, upon me, stiram, fixed, abhyasa, practice, yogena, by devotional service, tataha, therefore, mam, me, ichha, desire, aptum, to get, dhananjaya, O Arjuna. If therefore mind fixing not able upon me, fixed practice by devotion service, therefore me desire to get, O Arjuna. Translation. My dear Arjun, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulated principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, you will develop a desire to attain to me. Purport. In this verse, two different processes of Bhakti Yoga are indicated. The first applies to one who has actually developed an attachment for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by transcendental love. And the other is for one who has not developed an attachment for the Supreme Person by transcendental love. For this second class, there are different prescribed rules and regulations, which one can follow to be ultimately elevated to the stage of attachment to Krishna. Bhakti Yoga is the purification of the senses. At the present moment in material existence, the senses are always impure, being engaged in sense gratification. But by the practice of Bhakti Yoga, these senses can become purified. And in the purified state, they come directly in contact with the Supreme Lord. In this material existence, I may be engaged in some service to some master, but I don't really lovingly serve my master. I simply serve to get some money, and the master also is not in love. He takes service from me and pays me. So there is no question of love. But for spiritual life, one must be elevated to the pure stage of love. That stage of love can be achieved by practice of devotion service, performed with the present senses. This love of God is now in a dormant state in everyone's heart, and their love of God is manifested in different ways, but it is contaminated by the material association. Now, the material association has to be purified, and that dormant natural love for Krishna has to be revived. That is the whole process. To practice the regulative principle of Bhakti Yoga, one should, under the guidance of an expert spiritual master, follow certain principles. One should rise early in the morning, take bath, enter the temple, and offer prayers and chant Hare Krishna, then collect flowers to offer to the deity, cook foodstuffs to offer to the deity, take prasadam, and so on. There are various rules and regulations which one should follow, and one should constantly hear Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from pure devotees. This practice can help anyone to rise to the level of love of God, and then he is sure of his progress into the spiritual kingdom of God. This practice of Bhakti Yoga under the rules and regulations with the direction of a spiritual master will surely bring one to the stage of love of God. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, Srila Prabhupada are explaining two different processes of Bhakti Yoga. The first one is for those devotees who are eternally liberated and they have spontaneous love for Krishna. They do not have to do extra efforts to fix their mind on Krishna. It is naturally done. They do not know anyone apart from Krishna. And second one is for the conditioned souls who has not developed an attachment for Krishna by transcendental love. So there are prescribed rules and regulations which one can follow and get purified from this conditioning life. So we are engaged in sense gratification and thus the senses are always impure. So Bhakti Yoga is purification of the senses. There is the definition of pure bhakti is also there. The sarvanapadhi vinirmuktam tat pratvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktir uchyate. Bhakti translation Bhakti or devotional service means engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of all the senses. When spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is free from the all material designations, and one's senses are purified simply by being employed in the service of the Lord. So the point is that regulative principles should be practiced under the guidance of an expert spiritual master. Because there are many rules and regulations mentioned in Vedic literature, and people follow different levels of austerities and yoga and meditation. But to know what is most appropriate for us in current age, we require expert guidance of spiritual master. Otherwise, everything will be hodgepodge. Lord Krishna saying here that if you cannot fix your mind upon me, then follow regulative principles of bhakti yoga. Then you will develop desire to attain me. So this is unalloyed bhakti yoga to Krishna. This will increase our attachment to Krishna. And increasing attachment to Krishna means decreasing attachment to material things. Srila Prabhupada are saying that spiritual life means one must be elevated to the pure stage of love. That stage of love can be achieved by practice of devotion service, performed performed with the present senses. So it is not that we have acquired some other senses to perform bhakti with the some but with the same present senses we can perform devotional service and get purified. Then pure love of Godhead will revealed. So the main thing as this whole chapter is about devotional service. So and Srila Prabhupada explained two different processes bhakti yoga. So yeah, we can understand that the second one, that we are not eternally liberated, conditioned soul. So for with purifying with that conditioning, that we have to follow the process very sincerely and and lovingly, because as Srila Prabhupada give the example about the material serving a master, because a servant who's serving, he just wants to get some money, and the master also, he just takes the service and pays the money, and there is no question of love. But there are many services in bhakti yoga. We render services, we do different services to Krishna to increase our attachment or our pure stage of love to Krishna. So that is a spiritual life, and material life is totally opposite. So material life, there is a business involved, give and take. But in spiritual life, there is a unconditional love or pure stage of love. So that is the main points I have realized from this verse, probably. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Sanjay Prabhu, for your nice realization. We are in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, verse 9, devotional service. Thank you, Ambrish Prabhuji. Thank you, Purnampada Devi Dashi Mataji, and thank you, Krishna Samarpan Krishna Das Prabhu, for giving us an opportunity, training us with this realization. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, verse 9, devotional service. Atha chittam samadhatum na shaknoshi mayi sthiram abhyasa yogena tato mama ichhaptum dhananjaya. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Arjun, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulated principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, you will develop desire to attain me. So here in purport, Srila Prabhupada has indicated that two processes of the Bhakti Yoga. One is that who has actually developed attachment to Krishna, those who are serious devotees, and the other one, those who are not developed the attachment and they are just learning. They are not. They are not pure devotees. They are trying to be in the Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada has given very nicely. Simply explain that it's not possible for everyone to immediately think of Krishna. So for them, Srila Prabhupada advised that just like, work for Krishna, serve for Krishna, or like even if your mind wanders here and there, just don't give up, but just follow the rules of Bhakti Yoga, like worship Krishna daily, chant his holy names, offer foods whatever you serve, and serve the devotees. So Srila Prabhupada says that the practice makes man perfect. So that principle applies here, that by practicing every day, naturally you will start loving Krishna and think of him slowly. Just like the person who's learning music or even practicing cooking is not immediately become good at it. But once you practice it, and that practice, man makes the perfect. So one has to even practice bhakti, and that needs to be continuously, but not half here, half there. Also, Srila Prabhupada has given a very nice example, saying that when like nowadays there are a lot of meditation and meditating local people are very famous. So Srila Prabhupada they say that it is actually sitting and meditating is not that easy in this life, in this yuga. So work actively, if you really keen in Krishna consciousness or devotional service, then one must visit the temple or distribute the book, preach, or cook prasadam. So that way you start thinking of Krishna and leaning towards the Krishna consciousness. So that also one can do it and practice it. Here actually Krishna says that to fix your mind upon me. So what that means to, yes, always think of Krishna, always think of his pastime, his form, his name, his qualities. Then only once you practice it, then only you can really fix your mind upon Krishna. Uh, Actually, but how we can do that, on which way we can do that in the purest and highest way, just uh, like we see that a lot of great devotees who always remember Krishna without any efforts. But to reach to that level is very difficult for us, for me to go. But at least we can follow the process what Srila Prabhupada has given. The think of Krishna, be in association with like-minded devotees, read Bhagavad Gita, cook for Krishna. So slowly, then try to become devotees. So, but even if you can't fix your mind easily, Krishna says that practice bhakti yoga according to the rules and regulations. So the rules and regulation, but we know that worshipping Krishna regularly, chant Hare Krishna mantra daily, offering food to Krishna, hearing Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam daily in association with the devotees, and try to clean yourself and your house wherever you are making temple, and pure life. Try to be live in the clean and pure life. Srila Prabhupada says here that how bhakti yoga purifies and senses. So when actually we are in material life, like Sanjay Prabhu has already given an example here that in material life we always we just make we always gain what is for me, but in spiritual life there's nothing there. We only the love for Lord Krishna. So here in material life, our actually senses are not that pure. Srila Prabhupada says they are actually dirty, and because since we are in the material life, we want to enjoy things separately from Krishna, like seeing, touching, eating, just our own pleasure. So we have to use those all our senses for Krishna's service. If eyes, instead of watching movies or instead of going here and there, you must see the Krishna's deity or pictures every day. Ears, don't gossip. Hear Krishna's glories, bhajan or Bhagavad Gita. Tongue, instead of eating anything and everything, so try to eat prasadam, food offered to Lord Krishna, and chant Hare Krishna. We got hands and legs. They instead of working just like monkey, or work work for the service for Krishna, like a temple service, cooking, or book distribution. Use as legs instead of wandering aimlessly here and there. Srila Prabhupada says that if you go to the devotee's place, visit devotee, or go to the holy places, so that you will attach to Krishna. By using such senses properly in Krishna's service, the senses will become purified, and there is no longer pull, or sinful activities will not happen once you are in association with the devotees regularly. So in simple word, Srila Prabhupada says that when we connect the senses to Krishna, they become actually clean, peaceful, and satisfied. So is another Srila Prabhupada has given a very nice example that when the sick man, when he's a sick, his tongue cannot be taste food properly. But when his disease is cured, then taste, it comes naturally. We can taste it. Similarly, when our senses are pure by bhakti, our real spiritual pleasure come back naturally. So we have to use our senses to purify our bhakti. So love for Krishna is already within us. We have to practice. We have to start practicing and love for Krishna. And right now, because we can't really concentrate, because everything is contaminated. We desire for our money, desire for fame, designation, and desire for the lusty things. So to avoid that, so you have to these the lusty covered, just like a mirror is covered by the dust. So we have to clean that one and use that for our senses, for our bhakti, hearing about Krishna, chanting about his holy name, and serving him. So this is the chanting the Hare Krishna mantra sincerely. Actually, Srila Prabhupada says that call out with love. Think that you have an appointment with Krishna. Even Guru Maharaj also said in one of the melodies that you think that you got an appointment with Krishna, and if you think that in that way, so you will sincerely chant, and your mind will focus on Krishna. So talk to Krishna like he's always with you in joy or whether it's trouble, but always try to talk to Krishna. Share your heart with him. This simple practice can transform the consciousness. Actually, when I came across with this Srila Prabhupada's this note that talk to Krishna like, and he's always with you, joy or trouble. It's it once you really practice it, it will come in the daily practice. But one has to really practice, and practice can transform the consciousness. Also, beg for Krishna's mercy. I think Amrish Prabhu always mentioned that you always beg for Radharani's mercy, Krishna's mercy, and Krishna will definitely help. Yes, and let the we must not only the serve, but only ask for the mercy and ask for the help, and Krishna will never disappoint you, anyone. But provided that one should be really sincerely try to engage in devotional service. This is my realization from this particular verse. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, dear devotee. Thank you, Mr. Sangha Prabhu, for this Krishna Mataji and his great Krishna Samarthan Krishna Prabhu for training us and giving us opportunity to share the realization in this verses. And thank you, Mr. Sangha Prabhu, who is upon Prabhu. So, the nice realization and covering almost most of the points given in this verse. तथा चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामी शाप्तुं धनञ्जय. My dear Arjun, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principle of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. So, the Prabhupada has very nicely explained this verse in his purpose. In the previous verse, Lord Krishna asked Arjuna to actually focus his mind and his senses and all his intelligence in a devotional service, in service to Krishna. So here, He's saying that if one cannot able to do this, so it's not a very easy job to actually fix our mind constantly without duration upon Krishna, meditating upon Krishna's pastimes. So this is only possible for a pure devotee, like Shloka Path, they can able to do this. Because they are not materially contaminated, there is no contamination. But for ordinary jivas, our condition, this is a hard or is almost impossible to do because there is always a contamination because we are living in this material world, we have material desires, and we wanted to enjoy our own senses rather than actually using the senses to serve Krishna. So here is a solution is given, and like most of the verses so far we studied also, we culminate into this one realization is the Bhakti Yoga process. Engaging in Bhakti Yoga process, in serving Krishna's devotees, and that will actually solve the problem. So it's like a Rambanu path. So while meditating here, Srila Prabhupada is talking two classes. One who can do this, meditate with a single focus, upon Krishna, or they always engage in serving Krishna in some way. And there is another one who cannot do this. So one who's materially contaminated, one who's still actually pretty much attached to the material things, but they're actually on this path. They try to serve Krishna. So here comes actually the Bhakti Yoga process with the rules and regulations. So while meditating on this instruction, so it's a Varnashram system as well, Varna and Ashram, depending on actually where we are positioned. Then there are also prescribed duties, so we are in Grihast. So there are actually prescribed duties for Grihasthas. And also there are 4 regulatory principles, also the chanting minimum 16 rounds and so on. So these are the actually the niyams, the rules and regulations that we actually try to follow in order to actually purify us from this material contamination. So actually anyone who actually start on this path, I still remember, when I started, so no one actually initially, Amrit also nobody never instructed there, start actually meditating on Krishna, try to fully actually engross yourself or something like that. They only instruct you, just add Krishna in your life. Don't need to change anything. So that is the beginning. And then they ask you to actually slowly get you on the path of actually chanting the 16 rounds and then for regulative principles and slowly, actually take one step by step. So there is a gradual progress, and this process helps. So the rules and regulations definitely help. Even actually waking up in the morning, actually doing the arati, offering bhoga to the Krishna, even actually reading the scriptures, meditating, and also we're now being engaged into the preaching. So all these actually, they all form the part of this actually, rules and regulations of Bhakti Yoga process. So we're pretty much actually try to engage ourselves, actually most of the time during the day, even actually because we are actually have the material jobs or other actually engagements, we spend a lot of time, but ultimate aim of doing those engagements, whatever is the result, it's been advised to engage that in a Krishna service again. So everything get actually Krishnaized. So so this process definitely work. I have experienced this. There is definitely little progress, but there's a long way to go. But actually, at least you come from the very gross ignorance, where you actually eat anything, drink anything, from the stage to actually becoming a human, actually having restrictions on what we eat, how we actually dress ourselves, or how we actually engage ourselves in various services. So definitely this process works. And Srila Prabhupada is also actually emphasizing that actually purification of the senses, how that can be done. So
ultimately, one has to actually render, loving devotional service, which is uninterrupted and uncontaminated. That is actually the goal. But one cannot do this until they get to the platform of a transcendental platform. So even this whole Varnashram, all the instruction of the Veda that we study, they're meant to actually uplift us to the transcendental platform where we can able to serve Krishna with the purified senses. So one of the definition of the bhakti, Sanjay Prabhu also shared this verse that Sarvo Padhir Vinirmuktam Tatpartena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchat. So the definition of Uttam Bhakti is given. So when we actually engage ourselves in serving Krishna, so there are two actually effects. The first one is actually all the designations, we become free from the designation. So the attachment to this materialistic designations and resultant desires is slowly actually reduced. And the attachment to the Krishna slowly increases. And also by engaging senses in Krishna service, senses are also purified. So even actually we still have material body, material senses, but they can be purified. They can become transcendental, actually, if they are actually constantly engaging Krishna service. So Srila Prabhupada always said that don't need to artificially control your senses. It's not possible for ordinary living entity. But you can change the engagement. Give them a higher test, so as we have been training in our own program, how to do that. So these instructions, they are very basic and very, very important as well. And we have experienced it, and this is what we actually try to preach as well in our programs to the newcomers. So these are the points I realized while meditating on this verse. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. All of you can hear me all right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you very much. So thank you very much to all of you for your nice realizations. I can see all of you are trying to practically implement, see the practical side of these instructions too, which is correct. Because I always like to go to the fundamentals, of what the instructions are. As Srila Gurudev had instructed, that if you study from the point of view of the speaker, then we'll understand the mood behind the verse and instruction. So as we say, as we have shared with all of you, that while somebody is talking to you, giving a class, sharing knowledge, in YouTube or wherever you go, I'll ask the question: why is he doing this? What is his ultimate purpose? From there to understand the mood behind it. So similarly, and then we can pick up: is mood is right for me? Is this class only for me, or is it for him or her, whatever? Now with that, let us try to understand with my limited capacity. So the verse is very nice. Atha chittam samadhatum na santoshi na saknoshi mai sthiram abhyasa yogena tato mami chaptum dhananjaya. So in this verse, there are few important words which stands out for me. So of course, sthiram is important. One should be devotional, should focus on devotion and sthir and steady. Then abhyasena, by practice, this stands out. This is very important. You're not going to achieve this by not practicing. The mercy that we receive is the mercy of knowledge. And mercy would do of a guru, of a senior. But ultimately, we have to practice this. This, we have to force it upon some devotees to understand this. Otherwise, we thought, oh, mercy, we receive mercy, I'm happy. Mercy, I'm happy. We run around to do this service, that service, but sitting down, studying the scriptures, meditating upon the words, we don't want to do. We can do physical activity, austerity, running around. That is still all right. Laughing, all those things, cooking, which is also very nice. There's nothing wrong with it. But this practice part is very important. How are we going to practice this? Are our services helping us to go to Krishna? This is a question we should ask. Service becomes very important part. So abhyasena yogena, by practice of devotional service. And this practice is a lifelong practice, as we have discussed this recently. Another word that stands out for me is ichhaptum. Ichha and aptum. Ichha means desire. Aptum means to get, to achieve something. We all have so many desires. Oh, I want to get this. Oh, I want to go there. Oh, I want to go there to do this. Oh, so many desires are there for us. We are constantly desired. We cannot be desireless. Any living being cannot be desireless. Not only human beings. Just think about it. Every one of us, all living beings have some desires. Insect has a desire. Cat has a desire. Human beings have a desire. Ghostly people also have some desires. See? So our desire stands out to me. We have to be very focused in our desire. What do we want to achieve? And desire to get. Not that, yes, I have this desire, and then leave it at that. This is the difference between those who are very serious about bhakti, those who are in the quest for searching of the Supreme Absolute Truth, and those who are in a quest but they lose focus. So they are actually there, but they do not really be concerned. They don't take responsibility of their own actions. So we should be very focused about our desire to achieve Krishna. Then we'll be very interested in this. And the last word which said out is Dhananjaya. Why did Krishna call Arjuna Dhananjaya? Means, oh, conqueror of wealth. See? So, my dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without devotion, without deviation, then follow the regulatory principles of bhakti. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. So, this is how we should understand this whole verse to say that we should be very steady in our bhakti. Steady does not always mean we should be very fast. Steady usually means even if you are fast, you are maintaining a particular speed now. So keep it steady. Steadiness is very, very, very important because everyone around you, either they get disfocused by this, disfocused by that, so they have desires. We should never lose focus upon the principle. If you choose to argue about some points, you must focus on the principle and not allow anyone to make sure to deviate from the principles of your arguments. Similarly, our bhakti, our life, we should be very steady. This is a very boring subject matter. I remember we used to have when I was teaching mantra meditation so many years ago. I used to have a man coming to me. He was a big, rich person, businessman, but he had very different desires, all kinds of desires, and he would ask for help genuinely. And when I tell him to live simple lifestyle, it was difficult for him because he was very rich, easy money. And I told him all this on this face, these points. And a local Kiwi person. And ultimately, then I told him that you will not do this because it is boring. He said, yes, that is right. He said, he admitted that. Yes. Because there you've got girls, women, alcohol, travel, surfing, going to Bali, going to this, going to Spain, Italy. But ultimately, he was miserable and unhappy because his desires were so many. What he could not realize is that if you lead a simple lifestyle, steady lifestyle, you will be able to control your desires. So our steadiness and desire has a direct connection. Desires have a direct connection. If you have unsteady lifestyle, you have multiple desires. You will also notice this. When you came to Krishna consciousness, our desires reduce a little bit here and there. But when you become really interested, your priorities change. Then you become steady for this. Desires become restricted. So this works hand in hand. Because desires become steady, and the steady helps the desires. Works hand in hand. And if you are steady, only then we'll be able to practice this. Change control, remembering Krishna, am I remembering him or not? All these things. Because practicing is very important, abhyas here, in devotional service, yoga. And it is not possible for you to do your hard work all the time till the age of 65, and then have this study because you require time for these things. If you have, if even if you have stopped working, you will still be busy with so many things. So pray to Krishna every day, pray to Guru Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Krishna, please give me time, and I want to utilize it for bhakti. And utilize it for bhakti. You require time to control these things. During the practice. Because practice makes a man perfect. So do the practice is very, very important, constantly. Because the world will throw something upon you. There's a war in the Pakistan, throw something upon you. This killing of terrorism, throw something upon you. This argument, throw something upon you. All is going on. And that is why Krishna called, according to my limited understanding, Arjuna Dhananjaya in this verse. O conqueror of wealth. Because Krishna is talking to pure devotee and one who is not, who is interested in money and material things. That is why Krishna said through Arjuna to us, "O conqueror of wealth." We also want to conquer wealth only, no? All of us. Running around, I'll do this, I want to do that, I want to gain this money, I'll satisfy, maintain my lifestyle. All this is going on. So that is the reason why this verse is appealing. And that's why Prabhupada says it talks to two different, one is advanced devotee, one is new devotee. Yeah? And this is how we should be communicating from moving from neophyte to advanced devotee. Do not think that only few people can become advanced devotees. Do not think that only those who wear saffron robes are advanced devotees. Do not think that who wear saffron robes and who are gurus only are advanced devotees. Why not you? What is stopping us? Pure devotional service is monopoly of nobody. Krishna is screaming in every verse. Remember me. Your desire should be to me. He's saying all these things. We just have to understand like this and implement in our life. That's it. This is our success. Okay? Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. This is what I understood from this verse. Now, does anyone have anything to say or any questions? Please feel free. Hare Krishna. Okay. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki Jai. Granth Raj Srimad
Jai.
Bhagavatam ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki
Jai.
Jai. Srila Gurudev ki Jai.
Jai.
Word to word synonyms, translation, Prabhupada Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Hare Bol.
Jai.
Shri Ananta Koti Vaishnavanda ki Jai.
Hari Hari Bol.
Thank
Hari
you.
Bol. Sanjeev, you'll be taking the class on this Saturday from India? You'll be giving the class?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yes,
Wonderful.
Prabhuji. I'm taking my laptop with me, so I'll.
Wonderful. Have a safe trip and eat a lot of mangoes on our behalf also.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Jai.
Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare